my name is Jason Fry, and I would like to be a storyteller. I love stories in the way that they're told, often in interesting and unique ways. Now, I didn't always know that I wanted to do this. For a while, I didn't even know how to figure out what I wanted to do. It's something I did ultimately decide for myself without realizing that there are a ton of great resources that could have helped me along the way. For example, Mastery by Robert Greene, which has an entire section in it that focuses on strategies to figure out what it is you want to do with your life. He actually lists out five of these strategies. The first one is called the primal inclination strategy. One of the points in here that really stood out to me was the idea that cultural immersion can help someone figure out what it is that they want to do with their life. And that was incredibly fascinating because often cultural immersion is tied more towards things like learning a new language, not coming up with what Green refers to as your life goal. Another strategy that he lists is the Darwinian strategy. And a point in here that I really found interesting was something that Green talks about with the ecosystem of mastery, of coming into one of these markets that might already be overwhelmed with the number of people that are in there, but finding your way in by essentially creating a subgenre within this field of study, something that one can really know entirely. They can become the master of that subgenre of the field because no one else is studying it, and they can pioneer their way through that. The rebellion strategy that Green brings up has an interesting point in that it's often when you're watching a movie or going through media seen as childish. You have a parent or a mentor that is telling a student or a child what it is that they should be doing, because the parent or mentor may feel that they know what's best. And the child or student, they have to push back and they have to say that they're the ones that know what's best. They're the ones that know what they should be doing with their life. The life and death strategy that Green brings up, it focuses a lot on a concept that I find interesting, that I like to actually think about, in that every experience, positive or negative, is a learning experience. It's a stepping stone towards figuring out the life goal, towards figuring out what it is that you may want to do with your life. But ultimately, the strategy that I connected with the most was the adaptation strategy, because involved in there is finding something that you enjoy in jobs or activities that maybe don't feel like they're the best thing at the time. This was what happened to me. This was my turning point. When I figured out what I wanted to do, I was working an office job. And even though I was pretty good at it, I had received recognition, it didn't feel fulfilling. Even the recognition I was receiving didn't feel as fulfilling as things that had happened in the past. And when I reflected on my life, I found that even things like when I was an attractions attendant at Universal Studios, I felt more fulfilled by a part of that. And no, I didn't enjoy loading guests into ride vehicles or cleaning up after them, but I did enjoy being part of the narrative. I enjoyed being part of that story. The same thing applied when I was pursuing my bachelor's degree in history. I didn't love all of the coursework, but I love history because I enjoy stories. So this all helped me kind of figure out what it is I wanted to do, to be a storyteller. And ultimately, I would love to go back to the theme park world. I would love to be the person who writes the stories and the themes for the different rides and areas. And as a stepping stone towards this, I've decided on two goals for the next 3 weeks. The first is I would like to read through a book that I had ordered recently called Theme Park Design and the Art of Themed Entertainment by David Younger, which explores the ingenuity and innovation that goes into theme park creation. I also plan on listening to 3 interviews with professionals who are already involved in this industry to learn a little bit more about it from them. And I feel like accomplishing these 2 goals is going to help me with catering my writing towards this industry, and hearing from professionals may help me adjust my own mindset. But thank you for listening, and I hope that you have a great day.